what was the average, just give me a rough price of Bitcoin in Jan 2018. Somebody out here. January 2018. 15,000. Jan 2017. Don't look at your phones.
967. About 1,000.
That's correct. About 1,000. Jan 2015. 16. Roughly. It was 400. All right? 400, 450 range. Now, if this was happening to something you held in your hand, whether it's the dollar, let's assume it's the dollar. Imagine you could buy, what's $400 worth? An iPad, or you could buy a $1,000 GPU, or you could buy a $20,000 car. If you knew this was happening with data points, would you be using that dollar? If you had the dollar, would you be using it? No. You'd just be holding it or hodling it, right? Hodling, okay. Now imagine if it's the other way around, that last week, how much did crypto lose? How much? How many percent? 30? Okay. Greg, since he is writing Bit Digest, he would have the exact numbers with him too. Let's take a month. How much did we lose? Bitcoin. Right. Now, imagine I'm a merchant and I'm willing to take crypto as payment. Or if you were a merchant willing to take crypto as payment, would you take crypto as payment anymore? Very hard, right? Because you buy the coin, you don't know, maybe by end of the day, before you could hedge or get the dollar or the euro out of it, the coin has dropped 10%, and your margin was only, let's say, 5%. It's pretty much a done deal. So this is the case for a stable coin. A lot of people are saying crypto, like Alex was here earlier, Alex Mashinsky was telling about 6 million active wallets, 24 million total wallets. Why are it's 80% lesser transactions than before, besides the speculators? He was talking about use case. I want to talk about adoption. Why is there not more adoption? You can get only people to adopt if you can pay for it and somebody is willing to receive it, right? So Bitcoin is the greatest socio-political invention mankind has ever seen. And I was one of the guys who raised my hand because I put everything that I have into crypto. And you got to imagine, I've got 5 small kids. I decided to put everything into crypto. That is, even taking my 401k out, I convinced my wife to do this, right?
Still married?
Yeah, yep. I'm still there, hanging in there. I was a little early, so it's okay. I'm still okay, all right?
Was it 18,000 when you did that?
No, it was not. Then I might not have been married, but I do know people who have done it at the 16,000 range too, all right? So besides speculation or use case, the biggest thing, actually the killer app, a lot of people are waiting for the killer app. I think the killer app is money itself. Bitcoin or crypto's killer app is money. Why? Because it does a lot of things that was not possible before. We were under the jurisdiction of a crown or a sovereign government. They could tell us what to do. They could stop us from doing things. They could stop me. Let's assume for people who are in India or in Indonesia, they really cannot send money outside the country. You cannot do microtransactions. So this is where Bitcoin, there is a use case. The gamers, if you look at the gamers, they were the guys who were first using Bitcoin because they want to buy an avatar. Maybe I cannot imagine a lot of gamers are over here, but you got to understand that is a very big industry. Fortnite. Anybody has kids who are playing Fortnite, or do you play Fortnite? Raise hands. Okay. Do you know that that company is worth around 30 billion right now? Just Fortnite, the game alone. So gaming is very big. And over there, people could see the use of Bitcoin. So they're already using it. So money is the biggest app. Now money is the biggest app, or is the killer app. We don't have to wait for the browser like the internet. The internet was there, email was there. Over there, we needed something like that. In this case, money is the killer app. So the scalability issues and all will be solved. But adoption, just like Alex said over here, each of us, if we don't go out and teach 10 people to use Bitcoin, there'll just be the only people in this room and the speculators left. You have to let the ecosystem grow. You have to educate people. They have to adopt. And over there, stablecoins have a big use case because they're saying it's going to be stable. Now we'll get to that. Let's get to there are primarily three different kinds of stablecoins out here. One is the fiat-backed stablecoins. What is the biggest example over here? Tether? Yes. There you have a company that says for every dollar you send them, they're going to hold the dollar in a vault, and they're going to issue this Tether coin. All right?
If they can find a vault.
If they can find a vault. All right? So that's a problem there. So crypto was made so that we don't have to rely on somebody like that. And Tether has provided a service over there. I think they charge 1%, so if daily transaction volumes are in 2 billion plus or something. It's a great service model. It's a great business model. Let's assume if a company like GM starts using a stable coin like Tether, they're a company across the globe. They have to move assets around. It could be cars, it could be money. It would have been much cheaper for them to move Tether because Bitcoin is going up and down in value. So they could have used Tether to do it or something else. So this is a collateralized fiat-backed crypto stable coin. The pros are, it's very simple. The con is that now you have to rely on that company or that one person. You could have relied on your government, right? The problem with the government was, so most governments at some point in time, they will start inflating your money. Now the second type is a crypto collateralized stablecoin, which is using smart contracts. An example is the MakerDAO or Haven. Over there, you're using the smart contract and all these programs to make sure that it's at $1. You're pegging it to $1. It's decentralized. The problem is it's over-collateralized over there because if you send, they might charge you $200 to give you $100 worth of the coin because of the volatility. Prices drop, so they have to protect themselves. So it's over-collateralized. It's inefficient. And the third type is what something like Basis or even who was here earlier, the AA Reserve guys, the complex, no bank, totally decentralized, algorithmic stable coin. I think you guys are doing something like that, right?
Yeah, we're going the
Collateralized one? Okay.
They're legitimate.
They're legitimate? Okay. But they are the guys who are going to inflate, right? All right, we don't know that. But now that's like the Basis one. They raised $133 million last year, and voila, and suddenly stablecoins have a very big market. Everybody's trying to be a stablecoin. They will be winners. There could be a collateralized winner or multiple winners, non-collateralized winners, or algorithmic winners.
Excuse me, this is your 3-minute mark.
All right. Okay. So you have these things. So you have your option. Now, the talk realistically was, which stable coin would I invest or which is a good investment? If you ask me, what I'm going to look for is, who is that founder who can make or convince Walmart to use stable coins to do every transaction? If they can make Walmart accept stable coins as payment over there, and if they can make Walmart pay their vendors stable coins, or it could be Walmart, Ralph Lauren, any of the big companies, GM. Now that is a founder that I'm looking for to invest as a stable coin. The reason being, in one shot, you can capture a large audience. It's an enterprise level solution. Stable coins do not have any, it's a peg. End of the day, you're trying to peg to the US dollar or something, or it could be a CPI basket. And usually in history, pegs do not work. People have come with these algorithmic solutions, but none of them have been tested. In the real world, pegs do not work. And anybody heard of Black Wednesday or George Soros? How did he make his money?
insider trading.
Okay, I'm sure that was there too, but at least the official one as we know it.
When the Southeast Asian currencies, which were pegged to other currencies, mainly the British dollar or basket of currencies, the peg fell apart due to the currency trilemma, which is very well known in international economics. And as a result, he was on the short side.
So he shorted the British pound actually.
That was one of many trends.
Okay, but that was the biggest one. You know why? He made 4 billion in it. That's the big one. So the reason is he started shorting the British pound. What did the British bank do? The Central Bank of England, what did they do? What is that? They defended the pound. How do you defend the pound? One currency. They said, no matter what, we believe our pride, by pegging the pound at 2 pounds to a dollar, we kept on buying until, so what George Soros did was he calculated how much he had to short till British bank ran out of money. All right? First they sold their gold, then they sold their dollar, then they sold their krona, and eventually they said, oh my God, we're done. And that's when the pound fell. So pegging currencies is not like you can decide to just peg currencies. It realistically has not worked. It works within a band. You know, if you know that before that black swan event happens, it works. But the question is, when the event happens, what is going to happen? We don't know in stablecoins. But I truly hope the stablecoins do well, because that will help adoption is what I feel. I was not a big believer in stablecoins earlier, but I do invest in stablecoins right now.
Well, thank you so much. And if you want somebody invest, you have to find him.